Hey, hey, hey. You're muted, Rex.
I was on mute. There we go.
There you
Sorry
go.
about that. I was on. Anyway, Katie in the house. Hey, Katie, love you. Been thinking about you.
Hey, Katie.
Uh,
Good to
Jumbo
see you, lady.
sunflower seeds. My
Ooh,
She brought those to me. I've
dang.
never had them in the shell and try and shell them and eat them. I had the kernels, but not these things.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
that should
okay.
be, golly, 16 ounces, 1 pound. She must think I'm a bird. She picked these up for me. Now these are shelled. They almost look like pistachio, but they're pumpkin seed because I've been eating
Mm.
pumpkin seeds. She couldn't believe I was eating them with the shell and not shelling them in my mouth, but I don't like to do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
No. Hey,
I,
Elsie.
I used to eat them with the salted ones, the little, what is it, the Indian or whatever, they come in that
Mhm.
little red box. They're like coated in salt.
Oh yeah,
But they
yeah.
got, yeah, they
Those
got the shells on them still.
that David brand's really salty, but I haven't been able to find those. So she got those at Walmart when I dropped her off yesterday, and
Oh,
left her to do the day before yesterday, I think, to do the
right,
show when
right.
she first got here. I don't think she has any abandonment issues. She has left, and she's probably about 2 hours from getting home.
Uh-huh.
Wow, waiting on Sarah. Isn't that late to be waiting on Sarah at school, Elsie? Um, she got me some of these little tree, things you put on your vents.
Hey, Elsie.
Uh, so I've got a couple of those. She put a couple in her car, and she got me these crispy coconut rolls, which I've never tried.
So is she still there, or did she leave
No,
already?
she left. She's about two
Oh, okay.
hours from home still.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Uh, she knew my hair dryer played out, and I put it in the trash today before trash pickup because today was trash pickup. So she gave me a Revlon. Mine was an old Vidal Sassoon from decades ago. Probably well over 20 years old.
Yeah, probably
Uh,
from the 80s.
yeah, maybe. I'm not sure how long I've had that thing. Uh,
Yeah, there's
you
no
know,
telling with those things. Sometimes they last a long time. You
Yeah,
know.
well, I didn't have to use it too much. We did go back and we saw the Chosen movie,
Oh,
uh,
did you?
the part two, and he told us that part three is coming out Friday.
Mm.
Now, the way they do that, the movies they're going to release it at the movie houses before I think they went to streaming and it's on Amazon Prime now. Um,
Yeah, I forget where they're at exactly. It was.
maybe a few other places. Say Tank Ferret.
I think they'll still be on the Angel Network as well, but I'm not sure.
And
Hey, okay.
Tank did. I don't even have. Let's see. Oh, and before I get to third degree or the did you do this speech? Yes, I did. And what did I do? I sent the link to because
To
it's
Pastor
Tuesday.
K.
to Texas Dave. Right. I've been a good boy, and I remembered, and
good job.
all that good
I'll
stuff.
send
But
you a cookie.
thanks. I'll be waiting on it. Stale and unedible.
Send you a special cookie. Mess your day all up.
Water got in from the storms. We had like tornado storms around for like 3 days, 3 or 4, just rain. Now it's nice. And we actually went to the dollar store earlier today and got some more seeds and planted some more flowers, which just basically spreading them out. The dirt's really damp right now. And, some of them won't come up, but some of them will. And, so we got some. I put some around front, around the side, not the side that has the scaffolding and everything. But most of it I put around back because that's where I want the mosquitoes taken care of mostly.
Yeah, that's where Abby's at for the most part, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's important.
I don't know why these messages are doing this like this. I guess I can just do a search. And why does that people have to have? Well, I know why. So
because everything has to be as difficult as possible.
I know it can't be easy, can it? It's just that's all I ask for is easy, but that's not life.
If life could be easy, I would be able to walk without pain. And there's no easy.
And my sister's the same way. She's like, I have titanium, and she's even fallen and dented or warped her legs, her kneecaps rather.
Oh, jeez.
So there you go. There's the latest from Tank that I showed yesterday, I think. But the midnight where she pew 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 the pencil type stuff. He's still working on some of the backdrops, things like that. But
yeah, I'm
coming along nicely, Tank. Thought I'd show it again for those that may have not seen it.
Sense of motion you got in there, Tank. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Pew pew pew. I meant to say my cup that Katie gave me for my birthday or sent me through the mail. This one right here. It sat out on the barbecue. I went outside to do something with Abby and said, as soon as I sit this is not the regular place on this barbecue, I will forget it. And that's what happened for 3 days during those high winds and storms. And it did not move. It was full of coffee, and closed off. I probably could have drank it, but it got a little diluted with, the rainwater.
Yeah, it probably got a little rainwater in it.
So, yeah, I'd have to heat it up too anyway. So, but that's where it was sitting after like 3 days of storms. And I was like, what did I do with that? I looked around the house. I didn't remember putting it up ever since I put my phone on the car in Florida, the truck. And these last days, it's been like I've been at work, because we've been on the move doing stuff, that we never got to do as kids and other stuff like that. Right. We still didn't get to it all, but, about 2 whole days and not even that really, if not even 24-hour period. So,
hey, Homer, Jonas.
So we saw, one stupid stuff like ice cream. Want to eat ice cream. So we went, and I've been wanting black walnut. And I said, I went and got some black walnut. She got some Cherry Garcia,
That's one of my favorites.
And she didn't eat it. I've not tried it. So I will try that. It's up in the freezer. We never got to the ice cream, but we did buy it. We went to Kroger and bought it. And yeah, they had a couple of brands. They had Yarnell's and Bluebell, both from Arkansas. And I think kind of down there where she's at. There's a lot down there where she's at. We saw an ad and I was like, yeah, there's one close, and they changed names or locations. Or they had another location. And it wasn't that much further down there, Southwest Drive, which is kind of like a couple blocks over from my house and down. And we took the interstate, the bypass down there too. Anyway, got Marco's Pizza. I don't know if you've seen Marco's Pizza. It was like chewy, thick glue
Yeah.
It was okay. It was chewy. Of course, it was. We got like a meat lovers, and we ate it there in her before the movie, at her about an hour or so before the movie, or
Yeah. Okay.
and had time to
Yeah,
eat it.
I'm not
And
a big fan of Marcos, but I'm
I'm not
spoiled.
either, but
You
I thought I'd try it. We didn't try, I thought, well, we might as well go with something I haven't tried that looks pretty good, and maybe it'll
Yeah.
be good. I didn't much care for it. And the guy that was there, she's much more generous than me. He's like, yeah, wait a minute, I'm just trying to figure out what you're changing, unless you want to give a tip, that. And I hate when people presume that, and they just don't play stupid on me or slow up on. I'm trying to
Mm,
figure up your change that I really don't want to give you. Let me give you what I want to give you.
right. Yeah.
You don't do that. That
It's not good
yeah,
form.
I want every penny. We came in. You want a tip? You made our pizza. You gave it to us. You sold it to us. We came. You didn't deliver it. We picked it up. We went miles. By the time we got back to the motel, 12 something miles, almost 13 miles to get it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 6 there and 6 back, something like that, 6 point something.
Right, but still.
But still, we went and got it, and you want a tip? I mean, that's fine, but let us give it to you. Don't like sit there and waste our time, play stupid like, oh, I'm trying to figure it.
Well,
Unless you want,
did he wait on you guys while you were there eating? Did he get you drinks?
No. We just were going to go there and pick it up and go back and then watch. They had on TNT, which she had the TV, at the motel. I don't have TNT. I don't have inward streaming TV.
Right.
And they had that Terminator Genesis or whatever, that one that came out a few years ago. That was, old lady Linda Hamilton and old lady Schwarzenegger.
I don't know.
I thought I'd give it a try. Yeah, it's the thing about it is the Terminator's kind of like one of those fluid ones, but he's a little bit different where he can kind of split from a skeleton. So it's like his likeness of the person and the skeleton, more Terminator looking skeleton after you. So like there's 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
Or he can do both. I don't know. It's anyway. And so we had we went and watched Chosen Part 2, The Last Supper, and it seemed longer to me, that second one. Okay, maybe there had more in there, but now there was the first one. It was the same time on both, about 2 hours. Okay,
right.
The first one had 2 episodes because really they're showing you the 2. They combine the episodes and make a movie,
right? To make a movie. Yeah.
And this one they did Last Supper part, and every episode starts with part of the Last Supper, which is kind of drawn out. So the Seder meal. So
right.
It's kind of interesting. They start every episode with that, with what he's conveying to them, because he was like, the Son of Man must be crucified and all that. I mean, some heavy stuff, and he says in plain language, like, I'm telling you for some stuff for now, in the near future, and in the far future, or whatever. Right. So I know this is a lot to unpack, and he's still struck. And I think this is scriptural too, when you get to reading it, that Jesus is struck at how dumbass these people are. Their intentions are good, but they're not listening.
Right.
It needs to be that I die so that you can live. The parable of the seed dying, and then it germinates and grows. That's the way things work. And they just don't want to hear it. I'm trying to give you the Holy Spirit that will be here with you for the rest of your life, and things will be, and guide you and everything.
Right.
A power that you've never had before. I'm giving you a superpower. And they just say, well, we would rather have you here with us.
Yeah.
But
that's a nice thought.
I get it, but it's
they got spoiled. They got Jesus for a little while.
Yeah. Now, and he said that the part 3 releases on this Friday. And so, okay, so that's 5 episodes out of the way. So we got 3 more, I guess, for the finale. Will we reach the cross?
Oh, I don't know.
You know how they can string things along.
Oh yeah. Was
Yeah.
this season supposed to be the last one? I don't even know what their plan was.
It seems like that there was scheduled at first 8 seasons, and then it cut back to 7 or something like
Okay.
that.
And this is what, season
This
5?
is season 5, right?
Oh,
So we've got 6 and 7, I think. I think we've got 2 more seasons after this.
okay.
Which,
Yeah, I
you know,
wasn't
if you
sure how
think
long they were
about
going
it,
to try
you can
to
do the
run it out.
resurrection next season. The resurrection, start out with that, and the road to Emmaus, and all that. You know, the Book of Acts. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know
But
what.
it's really taken off. It's gotten some traction. It's gotten bigger and bigger. I think they've kind of coupled with the, you know, some as they went along and they've seen the success of it. I think it's getting, you know, it's gotten some more bigger
Oh yeah,
sponsorship. I mean, they're on Amazon
yeah.
Prime, I think, you know.
Well, it got a pretty good word of mouth, you know, review from everybody too. I mean, I know a lot of people who started watching it and then were asking me, "Are you watching that yet?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Hail Ray Haylock in the house. Howdy, Ray.
All right. Some other things I got were, you know, she was saying, and she got some too, denture cleanser tablets, you know, for your commode. And you can put these in your tank. And if you get the whitening ones, you know, and this is like overnight whitening, just put them in there. And, you know, maybe after you do even your bleach and scrub, you put this in there, and that will, you know, heavy water and lime and, you know, really good.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm not tried that. So, you know, we got some of that to do for the commodes and stuff, you know. And yeah, I got some fertilizer spikes that I've still got to put out for the flowers and stuff. I didn't want to quite do that yet, or haven't got to it. I got a couple of these. I've tried this before. I think that, you know, I think this, you mix the powder, you mix with your just your water, but like a 2-pack that's super orange for vitamin C. You know, so I got a couple of those if I get a little down and whatnot, you know, for just kind of like emergency. They had those at checkout. Got some Gorilla super glue, went to Walmart and got that. And tried to fix my door, which was letting in that water, because the, you know, I think Abby's leash cable has kind of tore up the bottom of it, and we were trying to glue a strip. It looks like I may have to take it off, put it on the inside. I don't know. I'll try and glue it more, and we'll see if it works, you know. And I got a couple of Sharpies, black Sharpies, because I always need those for like shipping and stuff like that. And like, no matter how many of the black ones I buy, they're either, you know.
Yeah, I use them all the time.
I don't know. Maybe I misplace them. I don't know. So you never can.
I use them for marking, you know, everything, metal, wood, all kinds of stuff, pipe, whatever, at work.
I should be on topic list tonight drawing, which is good. I didn't need to get back and, you know, do a round or, you know, get to drawing. I haven't had a chance to do that in the last few days. So we went back over to Mom's. We went to Burger King. I got a burger. She got a burger. We went to IHOP for lunch, actually, for kind of breakfast, lunch. I was still sitting. I got up about, not sure. It was so early. Let's see. I got up fairly early, but I was only up for about an hour, and she called me because she didn't sleep well, because she was she left them a bad rating and everything. It was well on their pack. Oh, and I've got some news about work. I just got this today. You're fired. Never come back again. We hate you.
Don't let the door hit you in the head.
Right. Yeah. Now, what's this mean? What do you mean 5, 5? 5 to 5. Starting 5 to 5 until we start nights around the 19th. What is that in May? Is that next month? 8 a.m.
5-5? Yeah,
yeah. Well, that would be May 5th. Really? Are we just starting in May?
Is that early or late for you? I thought you got a late start last year, didn't you? I can't remember. No, it was one of them years you said you guys got a late start.
Well, there's been a couple years that we started in June, and yeah, we did that in June. Now she says, I'm responding to her so I can get some, because I haven't taken a drug test, and they kind of, require that.
That's funny. That's me and Mama Hawk's 19th anniversary.
Yeah, I remember. You are in the system, she says, and ready to go.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Would you be interested in working day shifts until day shifts starting 5/5? So I guess that's May 5th until we start nights around the 19th. See, I was thinking this month. So I guess this month's a bust, which is okay. I mean, I've still got to pick up Terry, and she'll pay me a little bit for that, and I'm doing fine. Shoot, my sister's been feeding me the last couple of days very well. I had the fish platter, by the way, which was kind of unusual I had a leftover piece of pizza first for breakfast, and a cup of coffee, and I was still having my coffee when she says I'm outside, because she got out of there quicker than what she said she was going to. And yes, thank you, Ray. And we got monetized on the channel recently, so things are looking up. I need to go in there and make sure that it has the money has a place to go.
Yeah, you got to set up your. Do you got PayPal set up already, Rex? I think you can just set it up right to there. No, okay. Then, but you should be able to just link it to your bank account too.
And
so
I guess it's going to be next month, which is probably, I've already killed a couple mosquitoes. They're not bad yet, but I've seen, and it's kind of off and on. But with all these storms and the weather and all the rivers up and things like that and things flooding, mosquitoes going to be bad this year. Which means more money in the bank to me. Not really, because it's all going to get this book published and everything. But Carrie, hello, Scarlett.
The money you need to do what you want.
It's been good, Carrie. I was just relaying that, all the things that we did. What'd you say, Shadowhawk? I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Okay.
What important? I don't remember. Wait, Carrie.
I was just trying to stay on track with her question. She asked me a question there. Just landed a contract myself and finally breathed. Ray says, cool. Well, I know you had a pretty good monthly contract, but you can always do better, right? Oh yeah, I had like, I think they had like two. They almost look like what is it? Not Captain D's, but the other one that batters it up that you can't eat because of the oil, or Fish Place. Shadowhawk.
Yes.
What do you mean? Yes. I'm asking you a question.
No, there's a Long John Silver.
What's the place called? Long John Silver.
Long John Silver.
So it looks like Long John Silver's. A couple of flights like that. And fries, and I ate her Texas toast or whatever. It's small little toast for Texas toast, and garlicky a little bit, but not too much garlic. That's how I like it. Which I could live without garlic, but it is so good for you. And what else did I have? Oh, I ordered an order of onion rings with it, and it had some fried shrimp at IHOP. Yeah, and she ordered like some beef tips with mushrooms and fries and broccoli, and I don't eat broccoli.
And I've never really even thought about trying anything but breakfast when I go to IHOP.
So we waited there for about 10, 15 minutes, and then they finally take our order. And then right when I think she's going to bring our order, she comes back to the table and says, because she was doing it on tablet, they didn't get your order. What was your order again? And we'd already been sitting there, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. And that's fine. We weren't in a hurry, and she was nice enough,
Mm-hmm.
She had one of these lip piercings with a gold thing,
Okay. Yeah.
Right there in the middle. She just moved to Jonesboro 5 days prior from Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We kind of exchanged stories, after I was saying, well, this is my sister that I haven't met in 60 years.
That's an interesting move to go from, the nightlife.
I know. I said, how did you wind up in Jonesboro, Arkansas, or Jonesboro?
Yeah.
And she said, well, my husband does construction for the highways, different things or whatever. And she said, I like it so far. I said, yeah, I imagine it's slower pace than Vegas is. And she was there for like 3 years, I think. And she said, yeah, I like the courtesy of people, and every, around here, like how, so. We kind of had a good talk with her and everything. My sister tipped her good, and, we but did tip the busboy. She gave the girl, because when we got there it was sticky, and and that guy was slow. I said, man, at 50 something, I'm like the Flash compared to some of these workers. They're like, don't give a shit, didn't care to show up to work today, and blah blah blah, whatever. I mean, you can look at their faces and their demeanor, and I wish I wasn't here, or whatever, or I don't care. I've seen sloths on the National Geographic Channel move faster than Shadowhawk, and I'm not exaggerating. Sloths move very.
Yeah, they move so slow that moss grows on them.
Slow, very slow. Did you tell her you're YouTube? Yes, I did. She said, I will subscribe. So hopefully she'll look that up. And, made herself a little.
Oh, God, no, don't let her watch the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, my sister did. You watch one show, just stick with it. You like it. Whatever. I don't know what she was trying to say, Give it more than one glance, you like it.
Give it a couple of spins.
And I did, Homer. I did tell her that. Yeah. Hell yeah. I said, yeah, I do a daily show on YouTube, and it may be 4 Central when you're working or something, but I do other streams until I get busy at work. So it looks like I know when I'm going back to work, at least daytime, and then at least get all that daytime work in, which may be filling up the trucks, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe even putting out traps in the different cities.
Oh, maybe.
All of the traps have to be put out.
A little preventative action.
Yeah, I don't know when they're going to do that, and I don't know where the traps go, but I assume they got GPS or something to tell me where.
Yeah, I imagine.
Or would send me with somebody else. Look, man, I don't mind doing the job. Just train me. Just show me what you want me to do. And once I see it once, I can generally get it, unless it's some complex. Well, you go through this labyrinth, and then you go through these caverns, and then it's maze, and you skip over this part.
And you have to scale this cliff.
Right, this cliff, and it's unless it's extremely complex, and you've never been there before. I can generally remember.
Right.
And I've been to all the cities and lived in a few of them, but I've never put the traps out and win. And I've been going down there for 12 years, but I've never seen one of the traps. even though they told me on K Street where one is, I've never seen it. And I don't really know what, I mean, I kind of know what I'm looking for. And generally they may be in somebody's backyard where you can't see it if it's fenced in or, I get it, but they're well hidden, you know. Rick is a big deal. No idea. No, I didn't have a pickle today. Thank you. Then you got to type this essay. Yeah. Oh yeah, Echo. Okay. Gable says Echo.
All right, I'll be back.
Afternoon, friends. Gable. I got a friend in Jesus. So yeah, highly recommend The Chosen. Surprise reappearance of a character that's been gone a long time in Chosen, but reappearance. I knew he would be back at some time. But I won't say who, but yeah, he shows up at one. And Pilot, he's like an aristocratic, limp-wristed, give me a massage. And his wife is very short Greek, Greek, Hellenistic Greek, classical, short haircut, and looks almost erogenous, like you don't know if she's male or female. She's like one of these not really curvy, vivacious, whatever, that screams female. It's, not big breasted or anything, just kind of like, and Pilot is an extremely young character too. I mean, young for his age to be a governor, but I mean, if you want somebody that limp wristed that doesn't, and's got this Secret Service person that is on behalf of the Tiberius that has been taking notes and spying on Christ and the apostles and his movements and stuff like that. And he's a man's, I mean, he actually grabs Pilate by the, very, and he's like, I've been carrying you and I am this and that, and gives him his title. And he's like, man, I have catered to you, but I'm done. You are, you've not been doing your job. So he's not afraid to even manhandle Pilate. So that's, and I'm sure that's an extra biblical character that they put in there, but and there's one guy that's been taking notes and I don't know who that is. We've seen him pop up in several of the episodes there. So I guess about every episode's when Jesus speaks or somebody goes out. Peter tries to preach to the people and he can't get the story straight and everything. It's kind of funny. So, but it was good. It was good, good. That was on my bucket list to go see a movie. Things that I tried to do with my sister, had we been, kids growing up, eat ice cream together. I would love to eating some watermelon, cantaloupe or something with her, something you did as a kid. Maybe go fishing, swimming, whatever. I mean, we got some ice cream, didn't get a chance to eat that, but pizza, go see a movie, watch some TV together, which we did. I haven't watched season 5 yet. As I know, it features the day Christ died on the cross. Oh, it does? Okay. Well, that hasn't come yet. Part 1 and part 2 of The Last Supper, I've seen. There's only 3 episodes which come out Friday. They're releasing it out at the movies first. So that's what I've been watching but in the movies. $15 a ticket. So $30 for both of us just to watch the movie. I guess it's worth it, but wow, what? And I can remember when tickets were like $6, $7. We had a theater that had like not fairly new movies, but things that have played for a while, and and they're popular. So they send it over there. You can watch a movie for $2. Back in the 80s. Of course, that's 40 years ago, right? Jesus died on the cross, seeing Jesus or reading it in the Bible, or Jesus, how he was treated makes me cry. Yeah. I need big box office tissues. Chosen season 5. Not so far. I mean, nothing's happened as far as the crucifixion. They may go right up to it and stop for season 6. Because they still got to judge him, at nighttime. Uh, what else? I mean, he's, Mount of Olives to pray, and I mean, there's 3 episodes in the third and final thing, so they may go right up to the point where he's condemned and not even show you the crucifixion till next season, unless you've heard something different. And I did, capture her walking up on my phone here, which I can kind of show you. It's nothing dramatic. I had to show you on my phone because I haven't downloaded it yet. I don't know what happened to Shadowhunt. Even in the 90s, going to watch a movie was about 5 pounds. Now to watch a movie, it's like 13 to 17 pounds a while, depending on seat chosen. Seating. Yeah, we basically had the good seating. I picked the seats, and most of them were available in the midsection. In fact, the second night, I picked the very same seats, which was amazing. But it was in a different theater, different section. And my sister pointed that out. You've got the very same seats as we had last night. Okay, so. And I don't know that I got the audio on here, but I was just going to show them when my sister got there. And just basically, this is the entryway of where my mother is.
Okay.
Yeah. Across the street. And she's parked the car. I thought this was her. I wasn't sure. So I start working towards her. So that's not an earthquake happening. That's just me walking down to her. The pavement looks wet, doesn't it? It probably was. A lot of it's dried up now. But
very shiny.
No, that's not her. That's a guy walking, but she'll be coming in here. There she comes. You can see her. Comes up to me and says, You're not televising this, are you? I said, No, I just said my beautiful sister and whatnot. So
yeah. That's
there
good.
you go. Yeah. And I just kind of turn it off, whatever. But yeah. But yeah, I got her first arriving, on there.
Well, dude, compared to the pictures that you showed me of her when you first met her, over the internet or whatever last year, she looks a lot different. She looks like she lost quite a bit of weight.
Well,
I'm not trying to be mean.
She confided in me. She's got like stage 4 kidney something.
Oh shit! Oh damn!
And where her kidneys are failing, and she says it's hereditary. So she said you might get it. I don't know. I've been healthy as a horse all my life, so. And I said, well, I would give you a kidney, but now she's had meningitis and everything, and she doesn't want to go through it.
Got my mom. She had a kidney disease that was passed down from her dad, and that's what killed her dad, and probably his dad. But
I didn't take a picture.
My mom actually had 2 kidney transplants.
She did.
So she got an extra probably 11.
Well, she said, I approached her about 3 times about it. I didn't want to go over. It's her decision, but I did 2 or 3 times. I said, well, I could probably be compatible, and you could, and I'd rather have 1 kidney and a live sister than a dead sister and both kidneys,
Yeah, well, I had a good friend of mine when I was, I think I was only like 19 or 20. But he had got diagnosed really young with some kind of rare leukemia, and he needed a bone marrow transplant. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'm strong and healthy. I'll be happy to do it if I can, but I wasn't a match for him.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be a match for her or not. I just know we're related, so she's my asset.
I mean, you'd have a lot more, likelihood. I mean, it would have had to been really lucky for me to just volunteer out of nowhere and actually match up. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But you guys being actually that you're actually related on a DNA level, it's a lot more likely that you would be compatible with that kind of thing.
Well, she took pictures of me and mom together, a couple, and she took some pictures that we had of Amber and things like that, and sent them to my daughter, and a picture of me at Krispy Kreme because we went to Krispy Kreme yesterday. We took mom
Yeah.
one of those lemon donuts from yesterday
Stuff in your face.
Yeah. Oh man, I inhaled that. She said, where those 3 donuts go?" It's like, woo,
Like a
did you hear
magic
that?
trick.
It was like they gone, and they were so good. Oh my God,
Yeah.
they were good. So keep my sister in your prayers. She's supposed to go and have another test, here pretty soon. To make sure things are okay. I mean, even though she's in,
Well, it
and
looked
she
like
went in remission with it from a little bit, she said. So,
right.
but
Well, it
she's
looks
had
like
meningitis and, every time, I mean,
I was just
she's
gonna
got,
say, it looks like at least she enjoyed her time with you, Rex, and it looks like she was very happy when she came walking up. So
yeah. Yeah, and we had a lot of fun. We did.
yeah, that's great.
We did yard work yesterday. I wanted to
I
fill up.
can't believe you put your sister to work, dude.
Well, no, she volunteered. It was like we needed to put a strip on there to
And you
keep
should
that
have said
water
no.
out.
Right,
And
right.
so we went to Home Depot and got a strip, and we were going to super glue it. And we got some Gorilla Glue and super glued it. Today but we had to wait for it to get warm enough so it would adhere to the metal.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think it's going to work. I might have to put one on the inside too. I don't know. We'll see. It's wanting to come across
Well,
away.
sometimes the best thing to do is just to put down a strip of glue on, say the door, whatever,
Thank
and
you.
then on the back of whatever your little flap or mail slot type thing is that you're going to try to glue on there.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sit for about 15 minutes, just out in the open air. Don't do anything with it. Don't try to put it together. And then after about 15 minutes, then put it together and put a little, what do you call it? Masking tape to hold it in place.
Yeah, she asked me if I had some tape, and we never did tape it, but she was like, okay, I'm going to glue this. I'm going to leave. So give me a hug, whatever. And, I'm going to make sure this is all set good here. And just don't come out of the door for a while. Don't let Abby out. We let her out and then do her business. And then and then basically shut us up in the house and let that dry or whatever. So I don't know if it's going to catch or, a little bit.
Gorilla Glue is pretty good stuff, man.
It is, but it was kind of coming away a little bit. So I don't know.
It wouldn't have hurt to have a little masking tape up on there just to hold it in place.
Yeah, she said, as far as getting a kidney, as far as a donor, she's probably not a prime candidate for that. And she doesn't want to do dialysis. I don't know why. I didn't ask her why. But she didn't want to go through that.
It's fucking horrible. My mom did it for 5 years, almost 6, before she finally got her kidney transplant. It's terrible.
Now, sometime this, may be soon. It may be, and I will work nights, but my days are pretty much free. She's supposed to meet up here in Jonesboro because we have a lot of family up in this area, believe it or not, in Jonesboro and outside in Lake City area where it on our grandmother's side. And that tornado hit where Lake City and Monette, where she was born. My sister was born up here.
Oh, wow.
As a matter of fact, I was born down Little Rock, down in St. Vincent's in North Little Rock. You can see St. Vincent's as you're going in from Jonesboro to Little Rock, which is the capital of Arkansas. And her dad passed away here. He owned the local clubs, honky tonks, she calls them, here in town, apparently, and is maybe buried here. I think either that or no. I think he was cremated and they took his ashes to California. But a lot of family up in this area and in Brooklyn, and I've sprayed Brooklyn. Lake City's a little bit further out,
Brooklyn.
we don't have a contract with Lake City, but
How'd
they
you
got
guys
hit
get
with.
all the way to the East Coast. What's going on from that? Brooklyn.
Well, we got a Brooklyn, Arkansas.
Yeah, I know.
We got a Valentine. We got a Romance. We got some. We got a Goobertown, which is not too far from here. We got a Toad Suck. We got a Toad Suck.
I've heard of Toad Suck.
Yeah. PBR in the house.
PBR. Toad Suck.
I tried that Java. I tried that Java capsule that said she gave me 2. They weren't even open. So she must have had a third one and opened it and threw those away. I don't know, but you're supposed to put it in there as it brews, I guess, and it dissolves, which I guess it did. I didn't check it for residue or anything, but it didn't make me nervy or anything. But I put it's supposed to help with your blood pressure, but she said she put it in her coffee and it made her jittery. So she gave me 2 things of that Java stuff to try. And I tried it. I don't have any in this one, but starting the day out, I decided to open up one of those and put one in there and see how it did.
Yeah, I just got yesterday my package came in on my mushroom coffee that I've been drinking lately. That stuff's great.
Oh, Carrie, you changed your icon. Oh, mushroom coffee. You like that stuff, don't you?
Dude, it makes my joints feel better. It doesn't make you like you drink too much coffee and your stomach gets kind of at least mine does. If I have more than
I don't know if I know her last married name. Her name's Anna Harris. Harris is changed from Harrison. Because Benjamin Harrison were related to the president and the other Harrison, the ninth president.
I can't stop bragging about being related to the president.
No, I wanted to get her on here to tell about, like our coat of arms or something in Maryland. Apparently we were a pretty big deal in England and aristocratic.
Rex is a big deal.
Big slave owners back in the early part.
You're not supposed to be bragging about that, right?
I just found out about that a couple of days ago. If you can't brag about once owning slaves, why can't you brag?
That's right, Tim.
Have you ever owned a slave? I didn't think so. Well, there you go.
Not that I'm aware of.
Have you ever owned another person? I personally haven't either, folks. Just saying. It's in my. But we got moonshiners and outlaws and. Related to Frank Jesse James and who knows what else. I mean, I do know some others, but it's so fantastic you probably wouldn't believe it. And when I get my DNA test done, if I do that, I'll get it down to even more exciting stuff, probably mind blowing.
Well, you're pretty much out there anyway, since like your daughter and your sister and everybody else has done this 23andMe shit. You're already, your cover's blown, brother.
But we got different fathers. See?
Well, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would change things up.
I'm told my mother, only she would know, was, and it might explain a lot about me, dicks and whatnot. Was on heroin and cocaine.
And she was in love with an albino cowboy.
Maybe. We really don't know.
I don't know.
I think he was a drug dealer, but I mean,
I'm trying to give you a backstory, right? So without the drug dealer part.
Well, I mean, that's you got to take the good with the bad and the ugly.
No, yeah. That's the great thing about being adopted. You could just make up your own goddamn shit.
Right. I mean, I kind of like that. Being the man with no name, the man of mystery, not knowing my past, I was fine with that. Chart your own course. Chart your own destiny. I got no problem with your own thing. Be your own man. Nobody can tell you how, you know, I kind of like that unencumbrance. And really, my sister told my mother,
Man of
uh,
mystery.
you really, and but now she can't figure out because I was spoken for. They were supposed to take me next day after birth, right? But my mother didn't get me till like 3 months later. And she said, I would have been happy if it was twins. So I guess not to separate twins, sometimes they do that. She said, we just wanted a family, you know. And she was
Right.
like 31 when she got me, I learned, which I knew she was like in her late 20s, probably at least. But she was 31 when she got me. Imagine somebody having a newborn at 31, which is more common now, you know, but
Yeah, it's not that uncommon anymore, but back when you and I were growing up, it was. You know.
well, you know,
But
remember I told you this
I was
story
in the same situation, bro. But mine didn't work out as well as yours. We've talked about this, but I don't want
I
to go
don't
into it.
know, and mom even refutes it, and she's the one that told me years ago, back in the 90s, probably. Let's see, when did I have that nervous breakdown? Uh, that
What did
middle life crisis or whatever.
which one was it? Well,
Yeah,
wait. I mean,
yeah. You know, I told you that my parents were unwed college students, and I said, well, good for them. Back in the mid 60s, that was a little bit more prestigious. Now every Tom, Dick, and Harry and Joe and whoever, their friends, go to college. Everybody goes to college for a little bit, right? Not everybody, but most people, right? It's not as
it's a lot more common than it used to be. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And that turned out to be totally false. My mother, well, you know, I sprayed Brooklyn. We just talked about Brooklyn, right? That's where
Right.
my mother went to school, my birth mother.
Oh, wow. Okay.
About 20 minutes from here, you know, not too far.
Oh, that's
20.
yeah. That ain't far at all. 20
She didn't
minutes.
graduate. You know, she stopped like maybe 2, 3 years early from graduating. So she's got a limited education. She's probably one of those that smartest person in the room, though. You know what I mean? She raised my youngest daughter, and that was a disaster. And my grandparents raised my sister Anna, my older sister rather, that I just met. You know,
Oh, that's awesome,
so
Carrie. That worked out for you. I'm good with not knowing. I got no problem with that. International man of mystery. That's Shadow. Always will
well,
be.
whether you find out or not, you know, it's kind of like Shadowhawk. It's like you and I. We can chart our own courses. We can be our own person. You know,
I've been doing it since I was
and you've
14.
been
I ain't
doing
gonna
it
stop
from 14. So you know, you're about due when you get dementia for a second childhood.
About due for what?
Yeah. So I've got exciting stuff. You know, I put out houseplant fertilizer spikes later, old man
Woo.
stuff, and some polydent, you know, denture cleaner things in the commodes. I live a
Yeah.
life of excitement.
Well, don't get those confused, Rex, and put the polydent in your dentures. Well, you don't have. You got good teeth,
If the
don't
flowers come foaming up
you?
this spring, you know, then I know I did something wrong. And
Whoops, I
then,
mixed something up here.
but I had a bunch of eggshells from when I could afford eggs. I didn't check and look last time or the last couple times that we were in there. I didn't
Last
look at
I
the
looked,
price.
they're coming down.
Well, I hope so. They were $6, and people were saying they were coming down then.
Ah, honey, where are we at? With
And
egg prices around
think
here.
it was Scarlett's friend up in New York, $10 a
Really?
dozen.
No
Crazy.
shit. And
How
they're
much are
still
they?
like $4.99 a dozen. That's high, man.
That is high. Yeah, I could buy a damn chicken for that. Are you kidding? Or maybe I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, a few years ago, you could go to any grocery store in town. If you wanted to get medium eggs, you'd get it for 99 cents a dozen. And if you got extra large, you could get them for $1.99 a dozen.
Yeah.
Hell, if I'm gonna pay $5 a dozen, I'll go to the little farm down the road here and get them fresh out of the hen's ass. Get me some nice brown eggs. I'll pay that $5 for a dozen.
And actually, the brown eggs I think are a little bit better. I mean, probably
Oh,
right. I
dude.
mean, they got the
I mean,
orange yolk,
they
or
say that there's really not a difference, but to me, I mean, the flavor of those yolks is well worth
well,
the
now
extra
you
dollar
want
or
your
whatever.
yolks to be. Now I eat mostly my eggs have been yellow yolks, but the oranger the better.
Yeah.
If an
Oh, dude.
really orange yolk is good nutrition, 6
A dozen
pounds
carry 12
for
eggs.
eggs. Yeah. How many eggs does that value? 12. 12 eggs.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's 50 cents an egg. That's pretty expensive for a fucking egg.
It is. Yeah, it is. But hopefully in a couple of years everything will be equalized.
But that's the funny thing too, because for the last 3.5 months since Trump got into office, everybody's screaming about the egg prices that happened because Biden killed 1 billion chickens last year.
That's not bad, Gary.
Because they were scared of avian flu, so they killed 1 billion.
Everybody knew that was bogus. I mean, if he said, "Hi, my name's Joe Biden," we knew he was lying. And probably so, because I mean,
nobody talks
all those
about
videos
shit. All they want to
on
do is talk about the prices of the eggs. Oh, Trump ain't doing nothing. The egg prices haven't come down. It's just a matter of replenishing the supply. We gotta wait for the chickens to be old enough to lay eggs.
look
You
when
guys
they
killed them all.
look if somebody has, well, I could go real crude, but I'm just saying, if somebody comes to your, well, kind of like the farmers in Canada, they backed up a whole dump truck full of manure and dumped it out, and rightly so, because they were getting screwed by the Canadian government, on the steps of wherever, right? And that's going to take a while to clean up. Sorry, and it's the same way, even after Jimmy Carter's piss poor 4 years in office, it took the economy a couple years to get back up on its feet. And even then, it wasn't fully recovered in Reagan's first term.
Right.
It was on a par and climbing up there. But even like the comic books, early on when I had my store,
but still, when Reagan took over, it was still one of the biggest economic recoveries in the history of the country. I mean, you can't do everything in fucking 4 years, but he turned the whole course around where things had been headed for the last 20, which is what Trump is going to do. And then we got to hope that some people come in after him that want to keep doing this,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, but it will take some time. That's all I'm saying.
You're not going to be able to do it in one.
It's not going to be an overnight thing, and they're going to try and put. Last night, just flipping through channels on her TV, Chuck Schumer was on there. Trump trying to sabotage and do, and now the American people know.
That dude is crooked.
You're a dumbass, and all you got is hate Trump on your mind.
I can't wait for him to get indicted for some shit. I know that motherfucker is crooked.
He made millions and millions off the American people.
That motherfucker is crooked as
been right in there with Fauci and all the rest of them. He's a corrupt troll. He actually looks. If Sam has
Pelosi, all the. They've been involved with evil so long that it's starting.
Yes, you can see it on them. You can
make them look evil.
Am I sitting there smiling and looking like a little troll that was under a bridge, and who was just smiling at Trump in his first union address, and he looked like somebody you would just go way across the street to avoid because
You you can just see the evil coming off of them.
I know it. I know. It's like, man, you can just see that ugly little troll,
Well, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near the same room as one of those
imagine
people.
that guy and in control of everything. It'd be like Bernie Sanders. My God, they burn it down to the ground in the first few months. But
well, he has had quite a bit of control for a while, and look at what he's managed to do so far. Yeah. He's lined his pockets, that's for sure.
Oh, I mean,
he's gotten rich beyond his wildest imagination.
I mean, some of them almost to the tune of like, $75 million. I mean, some of those big wigs.
Yeah, some of them well over 100 and do 150, almost $200 million.
Maybe I've just seen that on Doge.
How do you make that much money in government when you've got a $175,000 a year salary?
Well, Nancy Pelosi would say, "Well, we have a winery in California."
No. That's not her husband's income. This is her income. How does her net worth go up so much?
I'm on your side with this. Believe me,
fucking horseshit.
It is. I know.
And it's insider trading. And if any regular American citizen did it, we could go to jail.
Oh yeah, right.
But because they're a senator or a what do you call it, a representative, they get all the inside tips. They can do whatever the fuck they want to and get rich off the backs of the people and not have to worry about it. Oh,
look, I mean, when Nancy Pelosi was the top speaker, right? Her alcohol bill on one of her planes, which is amazing because nobody had a plane before and she had 3. Now, if that plane goes nowhere, if those 3 planes, she doesn't use them for the whole month, right? 1 month. Each one just to be serviceable and ready every day.
A couple $1 million.
Sitting there, $150,000. So 2 of them, $300,000, $450,000 just for them to sit there and do nothing for a whole month.
Yeah, so nearly $500,000 every month. Nearly.
Yeah, exactly on that. And for them to even allow that is crap. And her bar tab was over $100,000 for 1 month on the.
Oh, dude, yeah,
every month probably. So that's
they showed some of the bar tab
dollars, whatever.
They showed some of the bar tabs from when the Democrats were all going like to the islands and shit during COVID and doing their like little meetups and stuff.
Yeah,
and like even for just like a dozen of them, their bar tabs were insane, bro. These people drink. I mean, I'm a drinker, man, but I don't drink like that.
Even local politicians, my brother serves on or did serve. He doesn't anymore, but there for a while for one of the representative agricultural advisement, board. And he would get tripped about that and stuff like that. And he was like our local representative or whatever he was, Marion Barry. He's like, yeah, he always had a drink in his hand.
Oh, Marion Barry? Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah. I know who Marion Barry is. It wasn't he the one that got in trouble for fucking doing crack and shit in a hotel room with a hooker?
I don't know, but yeah.
I swear that's the same guy.
Eggs, $3.47 a dozen, Walter says, over there in Jackson, Tennessee.
That ain't terrible.
It's not terrible, but it should be lower. I mean,
it should be less,
I get it. Destroy. And look at all the food processing plants that just happened to catch fire during
yeah, that was interesting.
They didn't do that for his whole 4 years, just that last year. They really, and of course, no investigations, nothing's ever going to be done about it.
Well, dude, all that shit was done purposely to try to tank
jobs that cost people. Those factories employ a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, just the processing and everything of all those eggs those birds would have produced that we never got, which is why we're paying ridiculous prices now. And just that alone would have driven the economy of the Midwest. I mean, you got Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana. We're all huge egg
Well,
producers around here.
that's the thing, and we found that out about even during COVID, that you cannot, yes, you cannot bring to a dead stop a big engine economy like this and not you just can't kill it dead and stop it,
No, you
even
can't.
for a little
There,
bit.
there is no fucking pause button on a operation that runs 24/7, fucking 365, dude.
No,
How
but
do you
hear
how,
what I'm saying. You hear what
how do
I'm
you
saying.
pause that?
The second part of that is it's almost too big to wreck, because they've been really throwing some speed
Oh yeah,
bumps
I
and
mean yeah,
obstacles to wreck it, and
and,
it's almost too
and
big a
luckily
jargon.
our industries were still strong enough infrastructure wise
Yeah, yeah.
to survive. You
There
know,
would
we
have been
still had.
countries cave in for a lot less
Oh yeah,
than what
for
we
sure.
went through. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've done everything they could to tank our economy and make us absolutely reliant on the government.
The only thing that would, after a while, would have a wearing effect if you went after, like, they want another 4 or 5 or 8 years, whatever. Then after that, they could wear it down and just totally wreck it through legislation and their
Well,
practices. And
and you know that's what they're doing now because all I
oh,
hear
they're not
lately,
giving up on it. Oh, hell no.
but all I hear lately is they're going, Trump's gonna have a third term. He's gonna take a third term. It doesn't matter what the Constitution says. He's gonna do it anyway, and they're just doing that because they want to be able to fucking say the next time they get somebody in office, it's a free for all. We can elect him as many times as we want now. That's
Thank you,
the
Pale
only
Rider.
reason.
Appreciate it.
That's why they're
Well, I
setting
mean, they
all this
project
up
on
now.
what they're doing because Obama had his third term through
Bro,
Biden.
it's all about setting it up. They put it out there into the
It is. They
consciousness
set it
of the
up.
people. Yeah. And they
They
just
set
let
up
it
the
sit out
narrative.
there. Yeah. Let it sit out there and stew. Hey, Pale Rider. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, they set up the narrative way ahead of time, and they project about what they're doing or want to do or their plans, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And
just
they only say it's somebody else doing it to you until it turns out, oh, it's really them all along.
well, like I say, it'll take a couple of years, but hopefully people will really start to see some progress, and especially by the end of his term. And a lot of this stuff will be long term and not even going into effect till after he leaves office, which is kind of the rule of thumb. Some of the stuff that Obama didn't do into effect till later. Same thing with Biden. So we have yet to feel the full weight of Biden's failed 4 years. But maybe we can mitigate and stop some of that, especially the spending, and reallocate that to some other areas.
Well, I think a lot of the Biden stuff is going to be judged to be
asinine.
Well, easily repealable or whatever, just because of his mental state and all the evidence that's coming out about.
They're going at one of the first things I heard when Trump took office, and I applaud them for that. Is go after these people that were acting on the president's behalf without his unbeknownst. To the president.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and that was all 4 years. Because man, that guy didn't know where he was. Let's face it, he should have never been able to take office. And I would hope they would put in a test there for mental fitness and physical, whatever, and not make it, too top a hurdle to go over for, to become president. But I mean, we can't ever go that far down.
We can't have a bowl of banana pudding in the fucking Oval Office. I'm sorry.
Not with his finger on the button,
No.
And he wasn't in control. So then you got czar this, czar that. Not even that. You don't even know who's governing. The last 4 years, we didn't know who was running the country.
We know exactly who was running the country.
No, we don't. No, we really don't. Nope. We can say Obama.
I got a pretty
fucking good idea, but you don't know who had all their hands.
No, no, nobody knows exactly.
Nobody knows.
Mean, somebody does, but we don't. But I can guarantee you, it was the top 10% of the fucking Senate and the House, those fucking Democrats, Obama, And all those people that are on board with his world health agenda and all the other bullshit, all fucking George Soros, all the people that fucking want to see America fall. That's exactly who
unelected.
On that
team. And they're unelected, unaccountable, if anything, whether it goes good or bad. You know, just like Libya.
And it doesn't matter if they win or lose; they stay there and they still keep spending money and making things slowly change.
Oh right, yeah, and it's influencing you know laws. What? You need to sell your poultry shares because they're going to take a hit here pretty soon. Hint, or whatever.
Oh, and I'm sure they do for each other.
Oh, they do. They look after each other. Hell yeah. One hand washes the other. Yeah.
And that shit ain't no difference between Republicans and Democrats. They're all making money off of us.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't just the Democrats.
Well, I mean, who was in part of the center? The turtle.
Oh, that fucking motherfucker. What's his
Conley?
name?
What's his name? McConnell?
No, McConnell. Yeah, Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell. Yeah.
Turtle boy.
I mean, his wife, their family, big in China on shipping, made a mint during the pandemic. Of course. He was paid $77 million out of this Doge money or whatever that they've uncovered. He was the top Republican up there. He was right up there with Biden, Pelosi, Schumer. He got more than, of course, because he's like, yeah, we'll play along to get along. He was.
Yeah, plus he's the inside guy on the other team.
In there. He wants you do what I say. That's why he's been
the
in there
inside guy on the other team, dude. Of course you're going to pay him more. When you want to tank a vote or something, you can always count on old Turtle Boy.
He could throw out $1 million out the window right now, and it would be like me throwing out a dollar bill.
Yeah, or a 10. So,
10's a lot of money. I can get a lot of value. I'm just saying. I haven't had a 10 in a while. I had 2 5s.
Rex gets a hold of the 10, man. I think it'll be in his hand like a lobster.
Oh, it'll be like that angelic music.
It's glowing.
Right, yeah, it's glowing. The golden ticket. Yay! Hamilton. Wow. One of these days it might be Trump. They're talking about putting Trump on $1,000 bill. Now that's just you talk, but
dude, that's just trolling fucking Democrats. Make them crazy.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'm all for it. Fine, do it. I think they will look back and go, his presidency was actually a lot better than, Shadow trying to flex, talking about threw $10 out the window. Yeah. Yeah, but he immediately went out there and got it off the lawn.
Hey, I accidentally threw it out. I didn't know. I meant to.
Right. Yeah. It was in that burn spot. The one she pees in all the time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as soon as the sun hit it, it burst into flame. It was insane.
Right. Yeah. That's some of that vampire money. Oh, I never did get to tell you the story, and I won't tell you the story on here because that spoils it giving away. And I really don't even want to tell you because I think that's a good horror story.
Fuck you doing it?
This new character that I'm working on.
I mean, all right, mister. I ain't gonna tell you shit either.
Okay, but
I might have had some surprises to throw down on you, but no, now you get nothing.
My sister probably, I wasn't keeping up with it, but she probably spent about $150 on both of us while we were here, and I probably spent about $70 myself. Some of that was just for stuff for me, but
well, you guys had a nice visit. That's all that matters.
It was, yeah. I mean, you can't put a price on that. And like I said, it's like this might be the last time I see you, the very first and the last, especially talking about our kidneys,
Exactly.
You don't know what'll happen. I mean, look what she's been
like neither one of your spring chickens, Rex.
Well, now she had meningitis, and that messed up everything,
Yeah,
She
well,
can't
that's
hardly
a pretty,
from here
it's a
down
pretty,
or whatever. She doesn't have the feeling that
it's a
she
pretty
used.
serious disease, actually. Like, yeah, it fucks up
Welcome
your
to the show,
spinal
Lori,
column.
Texas Dave.
Hi.
Howdy. Hey, did you finally
Hi,
go through your
everybody.
time
Hey,
change?
Dave.
Did you finally go through your time
Did I
change,
what?
Dave? Did you go through your time change there in the US?
Yeah, week last Sunday. Week last Sunday.
Okay. So maybe that's
Oh.
different because we've been going for a little about an hour and 15 minutes so far. But
Oh yeah,
what's up?
sorry. No, I'm on the same time. I'm back on the same time as you. I just had the cat in my lap.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Rex, you have two good kidneys. Step up, brother. I know. I offered a kidney. She doesn't want to do it, and I don't know if I'm compatible. I'd have to have the test done.
All right, just cut both of them out, put them into a cooler, drive them over to her, and drop them off on her porch. That's what a good brother would do.
I don't think you can do that and live. I mean, I don't think I could even make the 4-hour trip if I got no kidneys.
Well, you just buy yourself a fish tank filter, stick it in your back with about a 1-inch hose.
I still got some life to live, I
Yeah,
mean, I know you
should be
want
able
to
to-
host
you
the
should be able to
show.
make
I
at
would
least a
gladly
drive.
let here. I'll just kick myself and let you host the show, and then that way you'll get a taste
No,
of
you won't,
power.
because I'll bail, man.
Or
I
I'll
thought
let
we
you
were gonna.
host the show every day if you want. I mean, I know you want to get rid of me, but damn.
Oh, good Lord, Reed. I'm just fucking with you.
Texas just had a lap dance confirmed, Bell Rider says. A lap, probably a butt rub, how cats do.
I sure do.
Nobody has tomorrow. That's right. So, savor every moment. And if I never get to do anything with my sister again, we've been talking, Texas Dave, about me meeting my sister after about 60 years of never seeing her, because we were estranged at birth.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, you're still strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm still strange. Yeah. Thanks for just drilling that in real nice. Yeah. Nobody has to tell me anything. Everybody knows that, Shadow. And you're starting to echo again. Can you pop out one more time and come back in?
All right, I'm just gonna pop out because
no,
I'm tired.
Don't do that. We'll put up with a little bit of wobble.
Dave is here. You got a co-host, and I'm gonna spend a little time with Mama. My knees have been hurting today. It's a good time for me to drop out anyway. Hello, love you guys. See you tomorrow. Dave.
See, that's why he
nice
says,
to see you,
tell
buddy.
me about the echo, but when I do, then he goes, well, I'm just going to pop out. So I don't like to tell him about the echo, but if I don't tell him about the echo, then I get it. Why didn't you tell me about the echo? So I get the backhand every time.
We've been on for over an hour already, Rex. Good Lord.
I can remember a time in the very recent past where we used to do 2 hours.
Yeah, me too.
We're taking on water, Shadowhawk. That story don't hold water. Come on. Oh, Belmont.
No, I'm sorry, bro.
I understand.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm getting older, and I work fucking 12-hour days, and then it's 14 when I wrap in the show with you with 2 hours every night. So
I know. I love you for it too. I'm just
long
joking.
Days, long days.
Yeah. I don't ever get serious with you. I can't afford to. 4 hours.
Hello. We love you.
See you later, Shadow.
Anyway, Texas Dave, how's it been going?
Not so bad. Just
we missed you last week. We missed you last week.
Yeah. I wasn't. I don't think I was on last week. Was I?
You weren't on last week. That's why I said we missed you
last
week. You weren't on last week.
Ah, right.
You might not even been the one.
I can't remember what happened last week. I'm just trying to. Yeah, I think the week before I was on my phone downstairs with the cat in my lap.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd have to check.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess things have been going good for you. Yourself? It almost looks like you got a glare of light or gauze over the just the very top,
Yeah,
about
it's
right here
the light.
of your.
Yeah,
Is that
I can
it?
see it on the screen. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's the
I've
overhead
never
light.
seen this shimmer effect that you've had before. I've
Oh,
never seen that.
special effect. It's a
Well,
special effect.
it's
Rex.
really not that special, but if you want to believe that, that's fine with me.
Absolutely. Have you seen this book before?
No, and that would be the British version of it anyway. Coloring book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you
What's
know
the
it's
back
British
cover?
because it's got a U in color.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It certainly has.
Uh-huh.
That's the correct way of spelling it.
And then you Scottish would say coloring book. Book.
That's right.
Book.
That's right.
Book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up to Peter Capaldi on my Doctor Who watching New Who again, and
All
he's
right.
supposed to be Scottish. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if he is in real life, but that's the way they play him, like he's a Scottish doctor.
I think he is, you know. I think
Yeah.
he is.
I mean, I like how they explain it. You know, all these others are English, but all of a sudden you're Scottish, but Scotland is England. I know.
Well, it is.
Yeah. Let me embiggen this so I can see really good. Oh yeah, that's got some of the classic Steve Ditko stuff in it.
Yeah,
The
it does.
Sandman and the Capsule, which is probably the story with J. Jonah Jameson's son that becomes the Man Wolf. I think that's from that issue.
Yeah,
Shadow
this is
Sock
all.
says, I'm still here, just tired of audio issues. I can always hang with the chat. You guys are awesome.
This
Scotland
is all
is England. Well, I mean, you know, if you ask. Oh, it's got some some later stuff there. That's actually a Fantastic Four issue where he's got the bag over his head and he takes off his black costume to get examined by Reed Richards. I used to have that issue. Sadly, I don't. I've got to get that issue again. And yeah, that's early where she's probably fighting Hydra, Spider Woman, where she had her hair. That's probably Jim Mooney artwork. Although I wouldn't swear to it. That one leg, though.
It's just like a mismatch of all kinds of.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it.
Know.
Just kind of Spider-Man centric type stuff around the character. I like that. That you know, it's top-notch artwork for coloring. You know.
Yeah, there's plenty of coloring in you can do in these, I'll tell you.
Now, have you had this book, or is this a new acquisition?
This is a new acquisition for me.
Okay. Did you catch this out in the wild or order it?
Yeah, I just found it in a shop for £3.99.
Okay. Wow, that is cheap. Nice little Superman reveal there, kind of, you know. Oh, there you go. That's even with Spider-Girl in Spider-Man's future, apparently. With the female Captain America or whatever they call her, Miss America or whatever. I forget what they call her. Yeah, it's a mishmash of different stuff for sure. I mean, even interior artwork. And got like that. I think that might be the Anti-Venom character. I'm not sure. If he's not on this, he'd probably be on something else. I'm hearing that Mary Jane is now possessed by Venom, I think, or something like that. Or has kind of Venom powers or something. Yeah, that's another couple of Spider-Girl. Mary Jane Mayday, whatever her name was, you know, Parker, with the future characters and the. Did you get your other rocket in, your other custom rocket, or is he still working on
Well, I got the Thunderbird 1. I think I told you that.
Yeah, you showed that last time you were on.
I did that. Yeah, I think that's probably 2 weeks ago then.
Okay, so the new one you didn't. The other one he's still working on.
No, I got the Thunderbird 3 as well, I think.
Oh, you did? Okay. Now, I don't think you've shown us that.
Yeah.
Since it's been completed.
Yeah, I can't.
But
yeah, I can't really show it you the minute. It's got 1 or 2 bits dropped off. It needs a repair.
Already? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what it was. Hang on, Rex. Well, I just.
Did you get your spinner rack on? And probably not, because I'm not seeing it in the background.
No, I still haven't got my spinner rack.
Wow. I think this was actually taken, maybe this artwork maybe from a What If story, but I mean, yeah, he did become Captain Universe for a while. You know, combined with Captain Universe, which was pretty cool, actually, I thought, because I like Captain Universe.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ringing them up again if I don't hear from them by Friday.
Yeah, I'd stay on their arse, as you call it. Yeah, here's sort of that. I think it was Web of Spider-Man 100 when they first introduced sort of that spider refractory suit or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've got that. Got several issues of that when they first came out with that. It was a holographic cover. Don't know about this. This is wild. This is kind of like what I've got in mind for the Twisted Man, you know, on the suit design. Where his whole body's sort of like but that's shattering glass. I see. Okay.
Strange one, that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if he can repel bullets, that's pretty powerful, you know, for Spider-Man. Yeah, in the last 20 years, he's really had different armored looks and other stuff. It's really divulged away from Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would say so.
A little bit too much, I think, but
yeah.
I mean, if you want him to be Iron Man, sure, give him an armor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Here's One, but I don't know if this is like she's one of the, like Scream, one of the. Well, this might be Miles Morales, I guess. I guess that's what this is. But maybe when he first came on the scene. But they've had a lot of Spider Women besides the classical Spider Woman, too. And I haven't seen them in here. This might be one of them.
That is true.
But yeah, a nice coloring book. And great price on it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Great price. I would have paid that.
It was published it was published in 2022.
Oh wow! I already got some age on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like with Spidey when they go. It might be a little exaggerated, but when they go with the big eyes and you know the squinty, where they like the eyes, it can move, you know, and express expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may not like that, but I do. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. That's Ramos.
Don't ask me who the artists are and all these. I haven't got a clue.
Well, the one sort of bent over on the next to your left hand is Ramos.
Right.
Of course, that's a montage of different artists who's done him. So I should probably know the one that's on the left-hand side there, but I don't. Where they got it like track boot tracks on the bottom of shoes, which is kind of stupid, really. Little sleek design. Yeah, he's got like blades even on his forearms, kind of like I do on Sea Demon, which I kind of came up with in 1993. But it was already kind of being used at Marvel through Namor and things like that. Yeah, that's a good eye design on that. Something like I would do. Simple outline. And they even had a Spider Hulk as well.
Yeah,
There, I don't know if he's going to make it into that issue, but should be a total different character, the Iron Spider. Absolutely. Shadow is pinching the nose of his Rex voodoo doll. Confirmed. Yeah. The way you just said arse tickled me, Rex. Dave, do you remember Father Ted? No, that's Black Cat there. A lot of I like what there's some Rex sounded like Father Jack with how he pronounced arse. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to say it in my British or Australian accent, but I'm afraid I don't have one. Yeah, you think I'm glad it's more Spider-Man and not just don't mess with voodoo. Yes. Not a lot of on Carnage or Venom. Yeah, some of these designs I don't much care for, and they should be separate characters, you know.
Yeah, I must admit, I would agree with you there.
I'm on EG all the time now. Echo Gate, okay. Rhino, yeah, some other characters. Yeah, I mean, he's got a good Rogue Scout. Oh, look, that's a female version of Electro, which that costume needed to be retired a long time ago and make up a new Electro, you know, yellow and green. Keep the green, you know, you could make it. You can make it such a cool. They've never had really a good design, I don't think, for Electro. Ah, another grilling show with me, huh? Trans Michael Jordan, yeah. Or Michelle Obama, huh? Oh, you're painting while you watch the show. So cool. I'm glad you're painting. You know, it's got to be relaxing. Hopefully, good therapy. Good, just get in your own world and spew your coffee, you know, or your tea, whatever you're drinking. Echo Gate. I painted the TARDIS with a gaunt. Tom Baker in this week. Oh, cool. She painted the TARDIS. She's got a TARDIS. Oh, I kind of missed that one. He's a little too quick on the draw, that one. Yeah, these are becoming less interesting as it goes along, I'm afraid. As far as art, you know, I'm not that impressed with some of this. I like the lizard back there, but I don't always like the lizards. There's your lizard representation for today, Lorenzo. Sorry, it was in black and white. Little manga there. Okay.
Wow.
Little manga look is Rex, but I lose track of time and suddenly it becomes daylight. Veek arse drink. Don't you think Rex sounds like him when he says arse? Oh, got a little original. I think that's Daredevil. I'm not sure. He's got a horns coming out of his head.
Yeah, I think he's mentioned.
Yeah, maybe in his original costume or some variation of that. The yellow and red, black.
Yeah, I think it is. It is. Got plenty of pages in here.
Oh yeah, it's a thick book. Has that got his bottom face uncovered? I can't tell. Looks
Yeah.
like maybe his bottom face is uncovered. No, I guess that's just the way they've got it inked. See, I mean, why not uncover the bottom of his face like Captain America? You know, that would be different. I don't know that that's been done before. You know, if they just want to do something different. Little Wolverine, X-Men action. Is that supposed to be the female? Is that supposed to be Black Widow? Or I would think it's probably what's her name? Marvel girl.
Could be.
For the X-Men. What's her name? What's Marvel girl's name?
Oh, Carol Danvers.
No, not Carol Danvers. That is Captain Marvel.
Oh, I'm getting mixed up.
You don't read comics, do you?
Of course I do. Not modern ones.
Okay. Yeah, X-Men been around since '63. No excuse. Sorry.
I grew up.
Why don't I know it? Why don't I know it? Huh? See, I ask the hard questions even to myself. Yeah. Spider Thor versus Mickey Mouse Thor. Make it happen, Disney. Let's go. You know, they've been doing those Disney covers, Dave. I don't know why they don't do a Disney movie with Marvel. Like you could do something with Throg here. That's nice Gil Kane layout right there. On the right, your left.
Yeah, that is. That is.
That's a good Gil Kane layout. Look at that. Look at when Spider-Man was on all cylinders. Gil Kane was he was doing it before it was Ross Andru, but I appreciated Ross Andru, but it wasn't near what
this is the page I like, this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great layout, you know. Gil Kane was awesome on Spider-Man. He was just before my time. I was the guy after him, which was Ross Andru, which I enjoyed. But I think I would have enjoyed Gil Kane even more.
Yeah.
Now, Gil Kane was in the very first Marvel thing I ever got. So, which was straight out of his run on Amazing Spider-Man with the origin of Morbius. And what's that character in the background there on that one? Mockingbird, maybe? That's another redesign that or it might be Silver Saber.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell. Is that the female Spider-Girl? Or was that Spider-Man with her? Oh, Dave's confused. He don't know what page he just showed. Yeah.
That
that's male, isn't it? Wouldn't you say that's male? Kind of hard. See.
I'd say so.
Yeah. That's probably Silver Saber in a new design. Oh, yeah. What if Spider-Man had never become a crime fighter? Yep. He still becomes a crime fighter, I think, in that story. Daredevil. I don't remember Daredevil with the trident. That's cool. Maybe that's stuck in my mind. You know, he's got like a Doctor Strange, you know, when designing Devil Flyer, you know, because he's supposed to be like Doctor Strange and Spawn somewhat was the concept when I first created him. That's a cool layout there going on. Don't recognize the artist exactly, but very nice. A lot going on there.
There's a lot going on in that one.
I think Jargonut's got a hammer there, doesn't he? like Thor. Yeah, it was like that, extreme foreshortening up in their face, I'm surprised they haven't put any Delgado artwork in there, but they may not have black and whites of that. Very nice book, very nice price. Okay, so the very last one, he's eating pizza, and you get to see the bottom of his face. I don't know what, and they probably have got a design where you can see the bottom of his face, but with the Spider-Verse being what it is, they kind of slanted the boots on that design, which is kind of nice, different. I often like to do that instead of straight cut, straight across like Captain America.
Yeah, there you go.
Very cool, very cool. Thank you for sharing, Dave. And you can't show us your rocket, huh? Your three.
I can, but there's a few bits missing.
Yeah, we'll never know because I wasn't exposed to it that much.
You'll never know.
You got an original too. So is that larger? Is that to scale to your original?
This is it's about the same kind of size.
Yeah, I mean it looks like your original one.
Yeah, it's very similar. Very
almost
similar
to scale, to the same size. Did you say I want them the same size, or I guess it comes with the kit, right?
This is actually a kit. Yeah.
Okay, so you actually got like Thunderbird 1 and 3 as a kit and had somebody customize it, put up the decals on and everything.
Yeah.
Or I mean, was there painting or are they all decals?
No, this one has just been weathered down slightly with the decals on it.
Yeah, he kind of distressed it a little bit.
Like
would have been on the show, right? Because those were kind of distressed too, weren't they?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that looks a little bigger than your original.
Yeah, I think it's slightly bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know you gave about 200 pounds for that original one you had as a kid.
So
well, that's cool. Are you going to have him do a third kid?
I'm just putting it.
You going to have him work on anything else for you in the future?
No, not I'm possibly in the future. I haven't decided just yet. But yeah, I've got one or two others I might get off them at some point.
Oh, you've already got the models?
Well, I've not got anything else just at the moment, but I'm going to go and pay him a visit sometime.
Kate in Orlando saying hello to us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go and have a look and see what else he has.
Got to meet my sister, Kate, for the very first time for the last couple of days. That's been exciting. Got to do a lot of exciting things, I think. A lot of running around. Man, I was like, this is like a job, working, doing all kinds of stuff. She showed up early today, I just got up about an hour and was having my first cup of coffee and had Abby in my lap. And she's like, yeah, I'm outside. I checked out early because I couldn't sleep. And she was right down there. She didn't want upstairs. She wanted downstairs. But she got right there by checkout, right across the hallway. And they were noisy all night long. And plus, they do have a smoke area. And I think it still filters down that hallway. And that was bothering her and stuff like that. But yeah, I got to meet my sister for the very first time in 60 years, nearly.
Long time.
Yep. We got to do everything. We bought the ice cream, but we didn't get to eat ice cream together. But she's like, well, you can eat it. I said, you want to take it with you? Eat it on the way home? She's like, no. I was like, okay. I've never had that Cherry Garcia ice cream before. I'll try it. Shadowhawk said he liked it. That Spider-Man was cool. Second to last page. Yeah, there was some cool stuff in there. You really got a good discount deal on that, compared to the retail price on the cover.
That's right. £10.99.
I've collected some of I don't pay a lot for them, but about a pound.
Yeah.
You know, if we put it in your currency, about a pound. You know, at the dollar stores, if I see some with interesting artwork or something, occasionally I might get some. But they're generally on pulp paper. They're not the nicest, and they tend to yellow too, like the old comic books. You know,
Yeah.
and have that acrid smell after a while. You know, which I'm fine. You know, but I don't think even old coloring books, even though they might be rare, and especially some of them from the '60s or even older, are even worth that much. You know, which is pretty sad. Maybe worth a little bit. Those type of odd items that you might be rare that you might want to put up on eBay or someplace like that, Etsy or whatever, for about what you want for it. You know, you kind of have to go with the trend, but it's like there's not really a price guide on coloring books, I don't think.
I've never seen one.
Maybe one of these days I'll publish one, a price guide for coloring books, and control what I feel things are worth. You know, I have to kind of base it on, do some research and see what things are kind of selling at, you know, or for, or how often it comes up, or how rare it is, you know. But it'd be cool to do a price guide. It'd be a lot of work though, you know, on any subject.
Certainly would.
Mm-hmm. I've been collecting these drink box. You know, they're the powders, and you put them in your 16 ounce or whatever, and fill it with water, and you know, shake it up, and then refrigerate it, and then drink it. You know, different flavored things. You know, I got my sister some cherry 7-Up and some cherry limeade from Sonic. A lot of them like Jolly Ranchers, Sonic, 7-Up, Dr. Pepper. I don't know if Dr. Pepper, but there's Crush. And you being in the UK, you might not know some of these brands, but they're, you know, big over here.
I think I've heard of some of those.
Yeah. And so I've been just like, I got her a margarita. I wouldn't normally get that. And I thought, oh, this is my chance to buy this margarita and give her the drink mixes, and I'll keep the box. Because all I wanted was the box to add it to my collection. Right. And it's odd stuff like that people throw away that you would think are not, but it's product related, you know, and they don't take up a lot of room, and they're just little cardboard boxes, but it's almost like cereal boxes on the mini scale, you know, and and there are name brands like Welch's, Wiley's, and other stuff. Some are teas, some are, you know, power drinks, I guess. That's cool. Well, I embiggened, but I didn't really just let me go back and embiggen you, just so we can make that as big for everybody as possible. So is that let's see, this card certifies that I possess just enough of the divine spark of simian intelligence to make me a member of POTA UK. UK.
Planet of the Apes.
Cool. Planet of the Apes, Orko, General Orko, or something like that.
It's very good, that, isn't it?
So what about the back of it? Yeah, very nice.
Just blank on the back.
Yeah. Where'd you pick that up at, or just something you've had?
I got that sent me when I used to subscribe to this fanzine, you know, like about 15, 20 years ago. So just kept it.
I don't know that anything makes it collectible. I don't know. I mean, there are people that, you know, these are type of product things, you know, that different companies, like if Coca-Cola did one, right? 7-Up does one. Some of the other sodas do some drink mixes. So you kind of run into, like, let's say Coca-Cola did. Well, there's Coca-Cola, everything collectible. Yeah, it's newer, but it's something people buy, don't even think will be collectible, and they throw it away.
Yeah.
Scarcity. I don't know that there would ever be a call for that, but I just think the advertising, that would fall into more advertising collectibles than anything. I just think they're kind of a cool little, generally I throw them away too, but who's collecting them? Nobody. You want to collect, you want to find a niche thing that nobody's collecting, and you collect it. And you might even spark off this is, you know, and I've got some doubles and of some that I think are kind of nice, you know, not just onesies. This is the only collection out there. I don't know that anybody's collecting any of this stuff, but maybe eventually. And yeah, it probably needs to be recycled. Most of them I do, you know, but I try and keep one example of each one. And I didn't want the margarita mix, but now I thought she might like it. She does. So I gave her the mix and I kept the box, you know, and I got what I wanted out of it. You know, I didn't want to buy it and waste it, you know, and not use the mix. But that was a good excuse to buy it. I'll buy this for my sister and keep the box.
That's the one.
In return, she gave me a couple drink mixes that I did that were kind of the Walmart brand. She kind of getting hers from Walmart. I'm getting mine from wherever I can find them. Generally the Dollar Tree, but there's what makes the boxes collectible? Yeah, that just scares. I mean, see, Pez was like disposable. Everybody was throwing them away. Well, now those early ones are scarce, and now that, you know, they started doing, they have a rich history from 1927 on up.
It's like all the bubblegum cards, you know, the wrappers and the boxes that came in are quite rare.
Like at the patent office, or you would say patent office.
Patent,
patent. Yeah, we say patent. And he was also a general in World War II. Anyway, I'm the joke there. Yeah, but it's true. Patent. Anyway, I have not begun to defile myself. Anyway, you know, it looked like a Zippo lighter. It was like 2 inches by 2 inches, you know. And there's only one example known of that. The original 1947 first dispenser they did. Only one, and it was found in the trash. I've got a story like that too. I found on a trash heap while going on my neighbor's property. You know, we were going back there to see, I know where a fishing hole is, and we were going fishing. And they had a little thing there, and they had a, you know, a burn pile or whatever, trash pile. And they had a tackle box. Well, I went over there and looked in the tackle box. Oh, we got worms and, you know, other stuff. They had one plastic lure about like this, two or three treble hooks. I think treble 3. It turns out it was one of only 26 made for the very first bass tournament in 1954. One of the first plastic lures ever made, worth about $1,600. Only 26 of them made. Probably the only, and I found it on a trash heap. Somebody threw it out.
Surprising.
Only 26. Well, they didn't know the value. I mean, one of the first plastic lures. It's the Holy Grail. I've looked through, you know, about for a very expensive, even old, age does not determine, you know, it's supply and demand. And, you know, I think a lot of them, like these companies that made lures for decades, you know, some of the early ones or some of the types that, and fishermen want them to work and work well, you know. So there's some that, yeah, they did that one, but they don't catch fish. They actually want to fish with some of those, I think, or display them, you know, because they're maybe $400 or $500 tops. But this one was like so rare. It's like the Holy Grail, you know, and I didn't even know it at the time. My ex-wife, my first wife, she actually kind of traded it away to a guy. So that's how I don't have it anymore. But I would have never known that was one of the first. I would have never probably. It was Head and Lures, one of the first plastic lures ever made. So yeah, and that was found on a trash heap. So trash is being thrown away. I mean, treasure is being thrown away every day, and sometimes found every day.
Yeah,
you know. There was I've told this story. There was Robert from Key Comics that I bought a bunch of old comics from. I don't know if I ever bought any original art. He's definitely got some original art. Production artwork. I guess you'd call that original artwork. Yeah. So original, you know, hand done, you know, production artwork. Anyway, he he was going to a laundromat, and this woman got talking to this woman that come up, and somehow the subject come on comics. Well, that's kind of what he's got on the mind all the time. I don't know how. He said somehow the subject got on comics. He's like, oh yeah, I do that, blah blah blah. And he said, oh, well, I've got a box full of comics out there in the car. Then I didn't want to fill up my trash with them. I think she might have even said she was a teacher, and she couldn't like show those to the kids because they had like Nazis. I don't know why. Maybe the school didn't allow that, but tell the truth about World War II. Come on. Anyway, they were all old war, golden age books. He sold one of them, one of the lesser condition, and really wasn't that bad of shape, but it was, for how old it was, and in great shape. But one of the lesser condition Wonder Woman for $3,000, Dave, on eBay immediately after he got those. But she said, I'm just looking for a dumpster to throw these in. She could have thrown hundreds of thousands of dollars. Who knows? Action Comics #1. I don't care if it's in like good minus condition. You're going to get a bundle for it.
Yeah.
Just a page or two ripped out of it from that issue, having nothing to do with the Superman story. Just an ad from that. People buy that for hundreds of dollars. That's how rare they are. There's like maybe 70 something copies known to exist, and most of those have been restored. I mean, just for the war effort, recycling and stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's treasures found and lost all the time. If my house burned down today, look at all that would be lost.
I know.
And some of it's one of a kind items, like artwork.
Likewise.
Exactly. And that happens. That does happen. It's happened to me, or floods, or, we've had storms, tornadoes the last few days could come in and wipe my house out. Thankfully not, but, unless you got that in a secure vault. That's why I would like to buy an old building that used to be a bank that has a bank vault in it, because that's probably the most secure collectible room you can get. So even if the building's destroyed, you still got the vault and the contents therein. I'd love to buy one of these smaller buildings that was a small bank that has a vault in it. Absolutely. That's on my bucket list to do before I die. And then I can move all my collectibles to a safe locale, hopefully, except for what I keep in the house, whatever I want. But yeah. I mean, I keep this for a backdrop but I'd like to minimize it. I'd like to be able to move without bumping into a collectible, I'd like to reclaim my house, Dave,
Yeah, believe you me, Rex, I know where you're coming from.
And maybe I'll be able to do that. Maybe not on this next project, but, I'm going to be doing the art of John Buscema coming up here pretty soon with Glenn Fleming, which
All right. Yeah.
And he'll be designing it. And also Walter Danley, Elsie Danley out in the chat. Yeah. We're going to work on that all together. Can we see what makes the box? Can we see the box? I will show you one of the boxes tomorrow, Carrie. Or I'll show you a section. I would like to, display them for a little while, but even on a display like that, I could fit several on, and I may do that. I might just bring them in here, line them up in front of the comics, or turn the comics around where you can't see the, artwork be distracting. But I don't think I could even fit all that I've got, because they make a lot of. I've got quite a collection now, of a good flat full of all types of, flavors and stuff. And I just think it's interesting to line them up and look and see, and some I'll never buy again. Like I tried to give my sister, and I meant to give them to her for the grandkids, because she said they would drink them. Maybe next time when she comes back, and who knows when that'll be. She'll be meeting her half brother from another, side of the family that I'm not related to, but because we had different fathers. She's like my half sister, but we're all from the same mother. And Ada, my younger sister that's passed away now, but she's got some from her father's side who had a lot of children, sisters and brothers, some
Hmm.
older, some younger. Maybe nice with the box if you put a note with it, with the date and meeting your sister on the date you got it. You mean the margarita, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she means that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could do that, but I'd mess my box up. This is a special one. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's the one I didn't ever try because I don't drink margaritas and I didn't think I'd like it. So maybe I'd love it, but I just never tried it. I wasn't going to risk it. It might have been pina colada too, anyway. But I tried most of them. I like most of them, but we both didn't like. I tried to give her the 3 packets I didn't use, and I think I mixed up 3 packets in like a 2 liter that I still haven't fully drank. Ocean Water by Sonic. Don't get that one. Tastes awful. I didn't say right on the box. I said a little note and put it inside the box. There you go. Could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Could do that. The date that I bought that one. Yeah. Which I would have to go back in time. Let's see. That was probably the first day she got here. I think I did. I bought that before she got here, which would have been either Sunday or Saturday. Probably Saturday. I got it. I'm not even sure about the date now. Did a lot of living in the past few days, Dave. And boy, am I feeling it, especially in my gluteus maximus. You know, you walk more than you usually do, and boy, you feel.
Well, last Saturday was the 5th of April, Rex.
Well, talking about dates, Dave, you know, I got contacted by work. And apparently we're not going to start to work, at least the daytime crew, till May 5th. But she asked me if I wanted to work daytime crew.
Right.
And let's see, where is this? Oh, wow. I just got a message for her. You are still in the system from last season. Just show up on May 5th at 8 a.m. So May 5th will be my first day at work. And I guess I'll send her a thumbs up on that. There we go. And she said, do I want to work daytime? Interested in working daytime shifts? And I said, yes. And otherwise, it would be May 19th, the end of the month of May. So I'm sorry, but that's sooner than we did last year, but not much, because I think my first day last year was like June 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
And that's, mosquitoes are starting to pick up then. That's really the busy season around here. June, July starts at the end of July, kind of sloughing off a little bit because we're in the warmer summer, here. But now with all this rain, I imagine by the time the 19th gets here, now there's some private firms. We got the city contracts, but there's some like Mosquito Joe's that go around here, and they, I've already heard them advertising on the radio, so they'll come out now and treat your yard. But it's a waste right now. There's not that many mosquitoes unless you are heavily wooded around you, and then they're probably pretty thick all the time, anytime, even in the winter. They need that coverage and that water. But with all these storms coming in, we've had tornadoes all around us, Dave, the last few days.
Right.
Thankfully, the last 3 days have been pretty nice. Kind of cold at night, but warming up. I think the high today was only going to be like 56, maybe. That's not too warm. Mosquitoes are already here. Nasty bloodsuckers. Yeah. Mosquitoes. If you asked me to spell mosquito, I couldn't do it.
No, I think I would have struggled.
If I looked at the word the way Kate's got it here, I would go, MOS, and then like the word quit, QUIT, and toes, OES. I could probably, that's how I'd break it down. And I don't even know if that looks correct to me, but I don't even know if it's correct. And I have been killing them by the trillions at least the millions, maybe a billion by now in the past 12 years, you know. And I don't even know how to spell the word mosquito. Pretty sad. Pretty sad. Well, all right, Dave, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
I got some things to do.
Yeah. And I've got a cat to feed, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Very good. I'll be on Topic List later tonight. I missed last week, I believe, for some reason. I blew it off or wanted to rest or something. I think I did an earlier draw stream, that kind of sideline. I don't know. All I know, I was asleep and woke up late, and I didn't want to go late on the show. I still could have went on, but I was like, no, I'm staying in bed. So probably took some sleep aids. So Dramamine. When you really want to knock yourself out for a couple hours. So anyway, keep collecting. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And yeah, we're monetized yet. So, and thank you, Kate, the other day for your super chat. Appreciate it, dear. Thank you, Mrs. Good Stuff, for your super chat. I did catch that at the end of the show. And I don't know if she knows that, but I did. I catch everything, and we're, you know, but I can't believe that they approved me so quickly, Dave. Sometimes it takes up to 6 months for some channels.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just got to make sure it got a count to send the money to once a month, you know, so that I can actually collect on it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And I don't expect to get that many super chats, you know. But I think I'm up to about $50 now, something like that. Some of it's foreign currency, but if like Jonas, and Jonas was the first one. And it looked more like it was, you know, in Swedish dollars. It was like 20 something, and she's like, yeah, it's about $2. Okay. I thought he really gave me, like, you know, pretty good chat, you know. $2 here, $2 there, it adds up, you know.
Oh, that's up.
Yeah. And it was very generous for $2. Don't, Jonas, forgive me. Sorry. But yeah, I thought, man, that seemed like a big first super chat, you know. But it really wasn't. It was like $2. But yeah. I think altogether, guesstimating around 40 something, $50, I think. And Mrs. G gave me my last one, which was $9.99 at the end of a stream. But I did catch that. I did catch it, you know, before she just barely got it in, you know, because I had already said bye, you know, and hit the end button, I think. But she got it in. And I much appreciate it. Anyway, we'll be back here tomorrow. Texas Dave won't. Thanks for showing your rockets and your books and the conversation. Always a lot of fun. And
thank you very much.
You take care, and I hope we see you next week on Tuesday.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I'll be lining up some interviews now that I know how much kind of time I've got to like May 5th to stream a lot, and and to do some interviews and stuff. Haven't set up a lot. I'll be setting up to go on some shows and Shield Devil Flyer. If you haven't checked out Devil Flyer, go check it out on Fund My Comic. We've added Shadowhawk t-shirt, all in the big bundles. Sorry, not going to do them individual, at least for right now, maybe later on. But for right now, really pushing the big bundle. You know, if we get one big bundle sold, then we'll, be pretty close to getting that BOG 6 a.m. sticker. And, that'll be cool. And yeah, we've made a lot of changes, put some art up there. I know one change I need to make tonight which is the stretch goals. It still says locked, and it's been unlocked. Thanks to everybody. We're up to, I haven't even looked, in the last few days. I believe we're still up at nearly approaching 4,200, $4,167, 69 backers, individual backers. So thanks for that. Take care, and we will see you tomorrow on the 4 o'clock shadow.
Keep
Catch
collecting, everybody.
me drawing on Topicless tonight.
Hmm.
I think Luke is hosting that tonight. I'm not sure. And then Wednesday, of course, after the 4 o'clock shadow, I'll be on the Hump Day show. And I missed a couple of those because I wanted, I don't know. I might miss this one too if Terry says I need to pick her up. I've still got to pick my neighbor up who had surgery, said she wasn't flying in back from the cancer hospital or whatever, doctor checkup. Got to pick her up. She said probably later this week. And I said, well, I'm with my sister now, and we've been doing all types of stuff. And I'm glad it didn't, we didn't have to interrupt that. I would have took her with me, but she probably, wouldn't have wanted to go over there all the way to Memphis with me, and all that. But, I set her trash out. I got to get her trash can off the street. And I made sure it was filled up with some of my yard leaves and sticks and stuff that things been blown around. And I had mine full last week and setting out there. It was heavy. But so I was very glad that the trash truck, and I got my trash because I've still got some stuff to put in there if I get out and do some yard work. But it's been so soaked. It's soaked out there. It's wet. It's muddy. So I've done more in the last couple of days with my sister, planting flowers, just throwing out the seeds. I'm not going to put the bulbs and dig in the dirt and all that. Not all that. I'm just kind of like scattering seeds, making sure they're covered up and all that. And even then the squirrels are going and digging up already. I'm like, get rid of them rats anyway. It might look good, come summer. With the flowers popping up and everything. The ground's saturated and wet, so I imagine those seeds won't have trouble if the birds don't get them, and I don't think they will. There's some of those seeds that the birds won't even touch, because of what they are. They almost look like thistle seeds, But anyway, should look nice. Can't wait. I'll take pictures on my phone when they start popping up, start germinating. It's like, yay. And that's all to repel. Bought all the lavender out, except I could have got some lavender yesterday, but the lavender was totally out. But I got some marigolds today and some mixed seeds and stuff. That'll repel the ticks, the fleas, and the mosquitoes. So maybe I won't have to spray the back of my house with pesticide and everything. I like to do that anyway because she sometimes eats a little grass, and I don't want pesticide to be on the grass. But I don't want mosquitoes either. And then, I'm out killing mosquitoes by the millions, right? And I come home and then open that door and suck in, and then they're buzzing around all night long.
Yeah, you don't want that.
That's irony for you. The mosquitoes' revenge for me being out killing their brothers and sisters. So usually what I would do is come back into town, spray the back of my house, go check the truck in, get my vehicle, come back home. By then, everything's kind of settled, and the mosquitoes are dead or dying,
Yeah.
It takes a couple hours for that to work on their nervous system. It's not instantaneous by any means, but it will kill them. Lavender can be toxic if ingested, but by our fur family. Okay. Well, I don't think they're in like pots, most of the lavender, so she won't even have access to it. I'll make sure she doesn't, but yeah, keep my sister in your prayers for sure, because she's got stage 4 kidney something, And
I think she's come to tell me something like,
we got Maya finally here. That's good.
Food time.
Glad she made the show before we ended it.
Yeah, she's just made it in time. She's just turned up.
Well, take care, and hurting knees or not, we'll see if Shadowhawk lasts 2 hours tomorrow.
Okay.
We got it in today anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great co-host to do what he does every day, regardless. So I appreciate him. I just can't tell him that, or his head will swell and swell and swell, and we'll never get him to come on camera, even by accident, because he'll float away somewhere with that ego. Just saying. Anyway, bow for now.